Back in the garage, back in the garage, back in the garage today, back in the garage. Alright guys, back in the garage today. Gonna be doing a little bit of maintenance on Noah's CRF 50 race bike. Needs a new sprocket and chain. His chain is totally stretched out, so we're just gonna go ahead and replace everything today. As both crew chief and lead mechanic of the fast racing team, that falls on me to get done. So let's go get to work on this thing. And yes, this is the brand new 2017 Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. If I've already posted the review video, I'll post it up here in the corner for you guys to see. If I haven't, hang tight because one's coming very soon. Alright, so we got the bike up on the lift and on the stand here. First thing we're going to do is remove this chain guard so it's out of the way, and then we're going to start to get the sprockets and chain removed. Alright, so with the chain guard removed, next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and loosen up the axle and get the rear wheel removed. Now with the rear wheel removed, you want to go ahead and check your brake pads, and if they need replacing, we're going to get them replaced. These look to be in pretty good shape, so we're just going to leave them alone. Next thing we're going to do is take off the left engine cover, which I believe that's an 8mm bolt. We'll pop it off. Also, I believe in order to clear this, we're going to pop the shifter off too. It's just going to make life a little easier. Alright, with the cover removed, we now have access to the front sprocket, which you can see is sandy as hell from the last race, and you can also see inside this cover. We're going to have to clean that thing up real good before we put it back on. Now you get these 10mm here that you're going to have to take off. What I like to do is just kind of jam a wrench in there, because otherwise this thing's going to spin, and that'll hold it in there, allow you to break this loose. Pull these out and we'll get the front sprocket off. So we got this little retainer ring off. Now because this thing's so filthy, it was a little bit more difficult to get off. And now the front sprocket just comes right off of there. Hopefully you guys can see, this one has a master link on it, so I'm going to be able to pop that right off. But the first thing I want to do is get this all cleaned up, as well as the engine case. So I'm going to do that off camera and then we'll come back. It's truly amazing what some gum out carb and parts cleaner will do. That looks so much better, and literally all I did was take a screwdriver to that and get the big block stuff out and then spray it with some parts cleaner. It looks pretty good. Okay, so I got the master link clip pulled out. The rest of this should just pull apart. And we got the chain off the bike. Next thing I want to do is take the rear sprocket off. It looks like a 5mm Allen, so let me see what fits it. Turns out it's actually a 6mm Allen. Alright, so we got the old front sprocket, old rear sprocket, and the chain removed. Let's start getting the new stuff put on. We're going to stick with the stock gearing. We're going all WPS stuff, but brand new front sprocket, brand new rear sprocket, brand new chain. Let's get them installed. We're going to start with the front sprocket. All you need to do is just slide this back over the teeth. Then you're going to line up your little holder. Make sure it lines up with the holes, and then we're just going to put the bolts back in. The front sprocket is on. Now we're going to move on to the rear sprocket. Pretty simple reassembly. It's just the opposite of taking it off. So you're going to drop the countersunk Allen back down in there and put the nut on the bottom, get everything nice and tight. Got the rear sprocket attached. Now we're going to check out the chain. Now the chain I got is a 110 link chain. The chain that came off the stock CRF 50 is a 78 link chain. So we're actually going to have to remove some links from this chain before we're able to put it on. So just got the Dremel tool out, went ahead and grounded it down so we got the right length. Now we're going to get the master link hooked up and get this thing back on the bike. Alright, you can see we got the master link installed. Now it's just kind of the reverse process to get the wheel and everything hooked back up. Alright, so we got the wheel assembly back on. Be sure to leave these loose. Do not tighten this up yet. Next thing I want to do is put the left engine case cover back on, and then we will set this down and properly adjust it. Alright, got the engine case cover back on. Also, don't forget to put your shifter back on. Next, we're going to drop this thing down to the ground so we can make sure we get the proper amount of free play in the chain. Honda calls for 3/4 of an inch of free play. It's about what we got right there. All I've got left to do is lock down the axle nut and then put the chain guard back on, which is obviously pretty easy to do. Alright guys, so there you have it. That is a brand new chain and sprocket install on Noah's Honda CRF 50. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, I look forward to you being one. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, I'll talk to you again soon.